Namaskar friends, this is Shekhar Mayanil here again with the 7th episode of Yogic-Neurosciences in Hanuman Chalisa. Before we begin, I'll seek the grace of and blessings from Lord Ganesha and Hanumanji Maharaj, which is my breath actually. So let's start. Let me share with you some of my uh, PowerPoint slides that I have prepared today for you. Yes. And let me show myself a little bit this thing. Okay. So today's episode will be Vidyavan Guni Ati Chatur. Ram Kaaj Karibe Ko Atur. Remember Ram Kaaj Karibe Ko Atur we discussed in the 6th episode. Now we are going to do Vidyavan Guni Ati Chatur. What are the requisites and what are the obstacles that is required uh, to overcome before we can get to Ramkaj. Okay, so this is what it is. So let me have some question answer session. Uh, I have a couple of questions that people have asked me, and that is in your 6th episode, you showed that we have to do all the three. The Ramkaj can be bhakti or devotion or shakti or strength and peace. So I say, do we have to do all of it? I said, no, that's not the question. That's not the point. The point is that if you do one, the other two automatically you get. It's almost like get one and buy one and get two free. So that's what it is all about. So you, whatever your temperament is, whatever your predisposition is regarding work style in your life, or whatever your mental temperament is. So if you are a devotee type, it's fine. Go for a devotee situation, and the rest will both of them will come to you. So if you are a karma yogi type, you do the karma yoga the way it is. You do your swadharma in whichever way you want, and the rest other will automatically follow. So you don't have to do all of it. It comes on its own. But some people have partially 30%, 33% of each. So they have to do all of it anyway. But if somebody is having only 10% of one and not nothing of other, that 10% will become 100% down the road. So that is the beauty. So just keep doing whatever you're doing most nicely. The only thing is the difference this time now is you you pay attention to your breath. So deep conscious breathing is all you do now, and everything will be great. And then the second follow-up question was, now if you had shown how to do the thank you protocol in one of your books that you have written, the gravity of gratitude. So is it that if we can do just that, is it okay? I said absolutely okay. It's just perfectly fine as long as you are inviting Hanumanji. Hanumanji is what? Your breath. And if you are consciously aware of your deep breathing, that is what Hanumanji is. If you are unconscious about it, then it's not Hanuman Chalisa is not happening to you then. So this is what I was saying. You will live life, but Hanuman Chalisa will not happen. Hanuman Chalisa is a very different dynamics. Okay, so Chalisa breathing is about 4 4 4 4, right? So even if you don't know the Hanuman Chalisa, just suppose most people know it, but just suppose you don't know and you don't have access to it, you can just do 1 2 3 4. Inhale and hold 1 2 3 4. Exhale 1 2 3 4. Hold 1 2 3 4. Inhale. This is all you do, and be consciously aware of your breath with constricted throat, means ujjayi breathing, right? Little bit. That's all. And holding is very, very important. Holding is because we have never been taught to hold. If you breathe in and out, in and out. We never pay attention to the gap between the inhalation and exhalation. That gap in the inhalation and exhalation is what is extremely critical and extremely beneficial to us. So don't hyperventilate. Again, I warn you, do simple 10 time breathing is good enough for you to start with. Even if it's 2 breathing in a day, that's fantastic. Conscious 2 breathing is great. Just increase the number to another two. That way you go ahead, right? So you don't have to panic. So let me start with recapping the 6th episode where we discuss what is Ram Kaaj and what is our Sitaji. Definitely, our Ram Kaaj and our Sitaji is basically peace, devotion, and strength. For a person who is logically minded, very argumentative, or too much inquisitive, and Vedantist type of person, for him, peace is of ultimate value, right? So, if he is looking for peace, then this conscious breathing will help. Devotion, same thing. Conscious breathing will help him in devotion also. And of course, Karma Yogi for the strength, that also will help him a lot. Okay. So what are the prerequisites for doing Ram Kaj? So we have seen that Vidyavana Guni Ati Chatur, Ram Kaj Karibe Ko Atur. We have discussed Ram Kaj Karibe Ko Atur, which means very, very eager to do Ram Kaj, right? Vidyavan means a person of a great knowledge, very high level of knowledge he has. Guni Ati Chatur, the person of great virtue, Guni, right? Ati Chatur means extremely wise person. So this wisdom, virtue, and knowledge, these things are the prerequisite for doing Ram Kaj. So what do you mean by Vidyavan? Vidyavan means how do you assess a person that he is Vidyavan, right? So just like a mango tree, when it is loaded with mangoes, it is almost bending down. The same way as with Vidya. This all the knowledge are the mangoes on that tree, right? And he is too humble. He is so bent. So Vidya dadhati vinayam dinayadhyati patratam patratvad dhanamapnoti tanad dharmam tata sukham. This is what it is all about. So what does Vidya do? Vidya, knowledge, brings humility. That is the sign. Humility is a sign that uh, you are you are a person of great knowledge. And after humility, what happens? The worthiness increases. And because of that worthiness, you attain wealth. And because you have the wealth now, you perform your duties even better. Because duties mean whatever that is ascribed to you, right? That duty you do well, much better now. Because let's say if you are a philanthropist, you can give more money to people. Because what? Because of knowledge, which brings humility, which makes you worthy, and because of that worthiness, that you attain wealth, and because of that wealth, you perform your duties better, and that is the cause for your attainment of happiness. So this is how it is. How did Hanumanji demonstrate that he is Vidyavan? So that is a question, right? So what happens is knowledge is humility. So what happened? Vinayam means humility, zero ego. So ego means like what you call palm tree. Palm tree is tight, upright, and this that, right? But a humility person, the person is humility mango. Mango tree is like that, too humble, right? So Jimmy Amoga Ragupati Karabana, Yehi Bhanti Chale Hanuman. So what this particular chaupai sums up entire karma yoga of that Bhagavad Gita I had talked about. How do you do karma? How do you go about doing the karma? How do you use your knowledge to do karma? This is the beauty. So Hanumanji's humility is because of his knowledge, tremendous knowledge. His humility allows him to do karma at a zero ego level. So what happened, Jimmy? The way I'll show you this. The way how did Hanumanji go from India to Lanka? Jimmy Amoga Ragupati Karabana. The way Raghupati means Ramchandraji's arrow is shot in the same way Hanumanji went. So what happens is when Hanumanji becomes the arrow shot from the bow of Sri Ram, right? It automatically hits the target. And who gets the credit? It's not the arrow which gets the credit. Have you ever seen arrow getting the first medal? Never. The one who has the bow and he uses his strength to to shoot the arrow, that the person who gets. So Hanumanji became the arrow itself rather than trying to boast that he has reached, he is doing this and that. So Jimmy Amog Raghupati Karbana Yahi Bhanti Chaliyo Hanuman. The way our arrow is shot from the bow of Sri Ram means consciousness, the same way Hanumanji went. This means arrow has zero ego. And it is the only one which shoots the target also. But at the same time, because of no ego, there is no mention of him ever. This is the way you do karma. Your karma yoga happens only when you are operating at a zero ego level. So this is how Hanumanji, how this is the proof that he was knowledgeable, right? Now, what are the first obstacle? First obstacle is lethargy. So when you know that this is your Ram Kaaj and you have annihilated your ego and you have headed towards the your goal, right? Your goal means your Sita ji, to find out your Sita ji. The first obstacle that happens is lethargy, procrastination, laziness. Now that I have already figured out what I want, let me take some rest. That's not allowed. Hanuman, that what happens in the process, Hanumanji is going there. There is a Mainak mountain which comes up and he says, why don't you take some rest? You have been working all night and day, and just take some rest and we'll just can go tomorrow morning. Or Hanumanji said, nothing doing. Ram Kaaj kine bina mohe kaha vishram. So whenever there is whenever you see, when you're already on target, whenever you are already in the process of moving towards your goal, lethargy, whenever lethargy happens, you remind yourself of your Ram Kaaj. And he says to the Mainak mountain, he said, Ram Kaaj kine bina mohe kaha vishram. How can I relax as long as I have work to do? And that work is Ram Kaaj. Ram Kaaj is what? Finding my Sita ji. What is Sita ji? Devotion, strength, and uh, devotion, strength, and peace. Okay, so this is what my Chitaji is. As long as I do not get that, I cannot rest, right? But now what happens is there is another obstacle which comes. I'll tell you what that is. Guni, a person of great virtues. Person of great virtue is Guni, means a lot of great qualities you have automatically happen to accumulate within you, and those are Buddhir Balam Yashodhairyam. So these are the qualities that you, just by remembering Hanumanji's name, just remembering Hanumanji, or just being conscious of your breath. The moment you are conscious of your breath, these qualities, virtues will come like that. So what are those virtues? Buddhir Balam Yashodhairyam Nirbhayatvam Arogata Ajadyam Vakpatutvam Cha Hanumat Smarnat Bhavet. What it says is, Buddhir means intelligence. Bala means strength. Yasho means graceful appearance and fame and name. Yash. Dhairya means infinite patience. Nirbhayatvam means fearlessness. And arogatam means free from disease, diseaseless. And then ajadyam means free from laziness. And then skillful, vakpatutvam means skillful in speech. These are the qualities automatically comes to the person just by remembering Hanumanji's name. Now, what is Hanumanji's name? Breath. Consciously taking your breath with awareness is Hanumat Smaranat. Hanumat Smaranat Bhavet. Hanumat Smaranat, this is what Hanumat Smaranat means, is being consciously aware of your breath. Period. And what you get out of it? Buddhir Balam Yasho Dhairyam Nirbhayatvam Arogatam Ajadyam Vakpatutvam Cha Hanumat smaranat bhavet. This is what happened. Ati chatur. Ati chatur means extremely wise. You can sense what is happening much before it is happening. That kind of a wisdom, right? Now, what are the other obstacles that comes? One was lethargy, remember, and another one of the sattvic obstacle. Once you are clear that you just say no, you just told Mainak mountain that you say Ram Kaaj kine bina mohi kaha vishram. So that itself is sattvic obstacle. If you are telling anybody about your Ram Kaaj, that is an obstacle. It is a sattvic obstacle. It is an obstacle. It is something which says, so you don't, that this whole entire process has to be clandestine, totally within you. You don't need to tell anybody anything about your Ram Kaaj. What predisposition you have, you don't have to tell anybody. You just keep doing your stuff. What is that stuff? Conscious breathing in and out, with hold, with pause both sides, in and out, in and out. This is sat. This is, you don't have to tell. Now, even if suppose you've told somebody, the obstacle will come. What are the obstacles? Sattvic obstacles. In which what? For Hanumanji, what was the sattvic obstacle? Sursa. Sursa naam ahinke mata. So Sursa was a mother of snakes, right? Who was residing into the ocean, and what she would do is she would eat anybody who crosses the ocean. That was the goal was that whosoever crosses the ocean has to go enter her mouth. If he's smart enough to come out, that's okay. Otherwise, they have done. So what Hanumanji did was, Sursa said, okay, I want to eat you. Hanumanji said, please allow me to. I'm going to get my Ram Kaj. I want to find out Sitaji, and when I find out Sitaji and I let Ramchandraji know about it, then I will myself go inside your mouth. He said, are you kidding me? I am snake's mother. I eat my own babies. So what do you think? I'm born yesterday. You teaching me what it is uh, to come and eat. I want to eat you now. Nothing doing. So Hanumanji said, okay, eat me. So she opened her mouth and Hanumanji increased his size. She opened her mouth double the size and Hanumanji increased 4 times the size. So that kind of kept on going. And Hanumanji felt that this is not what I am here for. I am here for Amkaj, and why am I fighting with this? She suddenly became small and went into her mouth and came out. So he said, now I went inside a mouth and came out, but you didn't eat me. So this is wisdom. This high level quality of his very, very wise Hanumanji. He uses his intellect the right way. So when you see that your limited ego is no match for other person's huge ego, then you reduce the size of your ego in favor of Ramkaj. So this is what he did. Just sursa badana बढ़ावा तासु दून कपि रूप दिखावा सत योजन तही आनन कीन्हा Ati Lagu Rupa Pavana Sutlina. This means Ati Lagu means Hanumanji knows when to shrink himself, his ego to absolutely zero, and when to increase it whenever it requires. So this is what he did. So there is the another obstacle, this tamasic obstacle. The tamasic obstacle is a Singika. Singika was another she demon in the ocean. What she would do was she would any obstacle, any bird or anybody flying on the ocean, the shadow of that, she would catch hold of the shadow of that flying object, shadow of the object, and gradually bring it to, so that the person cannot fly. It gets almost incapacitated. So looking at somebody's shadow means what? Looking at somebody's everybody has positive and good and negative qualities. So trying to belabor on the negative qualities, trying to make the maximum use of somebody's negative qualities, and in the process, and becoming jealous about somebody's progress, is what Singika represents. Jealousy. Say, for instance, um, the sattvic ego was, oh, I'm doing Ram Kaj, I'm doing Ram Kaj. Look at I'm cool, man. So I'm doing Ram Kaaj, which means I must be having a glow on my face, right? Oh, definitely. Look at he goes to the mirror a couple of times and he says, look at my face, and looking, having glow in my face. So that is Ram Kaaj. That is Sattvic ego. But here what is happening is when somebody else also, right now, earlier you were the only one who doing, but somebody after you telling other people, other people started doing that. Now you're afraid that why should somebody else do it? So you're jealous of that person now. So you see that. So that is another challenge. So what happened? What did Hanumanji do to that? Hanumanji tahi mari marut sabira. So he immediately, the moment he found out that there is any jealousy that might happen in a sadhak, immediately he destroys it. So that breathing, that conscious breathing, will never let jealousy come into you. Never let jealousy come into you, because you are constantly in tune with what? The gap also, the Ram, the consciousness. That is the power of that breathing, right? So do not underestimate the power of Chalisa breathing. It's fantastic and it's awesome. Then the third obstacle. Third obstacle is Rajasic obstacle. The Rajasic obstacle is in the form of Lankini, which is basically delusion. Delusion means that which is not able to discern the right from wrong. So what Lankini was, even though Hanumanji became Masaka Samana Rupa Kapidhari, so what happened? He became like a mosquito, almost like a mosquito, and he went inside and he was encountered by Lankini, who immediately said, "Where are you going, you thief? Don't you know this is Ravan's Lanka? A small, even a fly cannot pass through. You are a thief. You are trying to sneak inside Lanka." And Hanuman just felt, well, this this lady is having delusional thoughts right here. The first person who took she should eat is Ravan himself, because he is the biggest thief. He had stolen Sita ji of all the things. Now she's saying that I am the thief, just even though I'm trying to find out where Sita ji is, and she's saying that I am the thief. So this is deluded thinking, right? So what did Hanumanji do? He gave one big blow on her face. Big blow. Mutika ek mahakapihani. Rudir bhamat dharani thanmani. So what happens is when the mouth the blood came out of her mouth, she become virakt. Virakt means she was attached to her wrong thinking. Now when the one big blow happened, and Hanumanji gave one big blow to her face, and then she said, प्रविश नगर कीजे सब काजा हृदय राखी कौशलपुर राजा गरल सुधा रिपु करई मिताई गोपद सिंधु अनल सितलाई. So she said that you are the one. Please go ahead and do the Ram Kaj that you are intended to do, and but remember to keep the Lord's name in your heart. Garal Sudha, because of that, Garal Sudha, the poison will become Amrit, right? Poison will become Amrit. And Garal Sudha, Ripu Karei Mita, Ripu means enemy, become friend. They will become, try to seek your friendship. Gopada Sindhu Analasitlai means the entire ocean will become like a puddle, just from a cow's feet, in the mud. So this is what will happen to you if you do the breathing with Lord's name in your heart. This is what Lankini says. So for delusion, so Vidyavan Guniyati Chatur, how did Vidyavan Guniyati Chatur overcome the obstacle? And Vidyavan Guniyati Chatur, Rama Kaaj Kari Beko Atur. So how did Vidyavan Guniyati Chatur overcome the obstacle such that he can do the Ram Kaj? Was like that. Lethargy was there, first obstacle, and which is basically laziness and procrastination. So what Hanumanji did, he reminded himself of Ram Kaj. By what? Deep breathing. For us, it is deep breathing, but he reminded of himself of Ram. We said that Ram Kaj Kine Vina Mohi Kaha Vishram, he reminded himself and the other person also, right? So Sattvic obstacle is in the form of ego fights, right? So you are the one who is doing the Ram Kaaj. You are so proud that you are doing it, but at the same time, that itself is an obstacle because you are proud to do it because you are the one who are doing it. So that is so. But nonetheless, in the outer world, you have to reduce the ego and don't have to talk about it or to anybody whole unnecessarily. Just keep it to yourself and keep doing your work. So tamasic obstacle is in the form of jealousy, which is singhika, and it needs to be destroyed. There is no zero tolerance policy for jealousy in this business. So, and the rajasic obstacles is in the form of lankini. And what he said, that is basically delusional. So rajasic, you cannot destroy rajasic because rajasic is the one which you use to act. Rajas is the one you use to act, right? So if you kill it completely, just like you kill the tamasic obstacle, you will not be able to do anything. So delusion is basically uh, wrong thinking and 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 uh, and lack of discernment between the right and the wrong. This is what the challenge is. So you have to remind yourself, wake up and smell the coffee. And they say that smell the coffee, wake up and smell the coffee. There is something new that is happening. Don't get attached to your old style of thinking. Move on. And this old style of attachment to old style of thinking is what causes delusion. So Hanumanji says, just give him one blow on the face, and she woke up. Say okay, and started smelling the coffee. And now Hanumanji is doing good. So this is what it is. And you know what to do. I have seen a lot of people watching the videos, and they are doing very, very good, and they are sending me great comments and calling me also. But I see not as many people are subscribing to it. Please subscribe. That will be greatly helpful to me, and look forward to another episode. This time, I'm not going to tell you what it is. It is going to be very secret, and I'm working diligently on it right now as we talk. A couple of minutes ago, I just have half of it, the video finished, but I haven't come up with a title yet. So please hold on to the next. Till next time, we'll have great uh, presentation. Okay. Thank you so much, and look forward to meeting you next time. Thanks.